Welcome to the holiday season, the whirlwind of gift-giving, marketing blitzes, parties, and activities galore that begins around Halloween, builds to Thanksgiving, and continues through the end of the year. While this season is meant to bring feelings of love and cheer, it also contributes to holiday stress for many. How many days until Christmas? How many days until New Year? Does knowing this stress you out? Take a minute to think about what causes you stress during the holidays. Is it work, parties, gifts, family, food, or something else? All things in moderation, as the saying goes. The problem with the holiday season is that we often experience too much of a good thing. While stress itself is necessary for our survival and zest for life, too much stress has a negative impact on our health, both mental and physical. Too many activities, even if they are fun activities, can culminate in too much holiday stress and leave us feeling frazzled rather than fulfilled. An overabundance of parties and gift-giving occasions lead many people to eat, drink, and be merry, often to excess. The temptation to overindulge in spending, rich desserts, or alcohol can cause many people the lasting stress of dealing with the consequences. Debt, weight gain, memories of embarrassing behavior that can linger long after the season is over. Also, in these more difficult financial times, finding affordable gifts can be stressful, and carrying holiday debt is a tradition that too many people unwittingly bring on themselves, and the stress that comes with it can last for months. The holidays are a time when extended families tend to gather. While this can be a wonderful thing, even the most close-knit families can overdose on togetherness, making it hard for family members to maintain a healthy balance between bonding and alone time. Many families also have roles that each member falls into that have more to do with who individuals used to be rather than who they are today, which can sometimes bring more dread than love to these gatherings. This can be a tough time for many people, especially those who have lost partners or parents, as it reminds them of their loneliness. As the world seems to be gathering with family, those who rely more on friends for support can feel deserted and alone. An often unrecognized problem that comes with the holiday season is a byproduct of the seasons changing from fall to winter. As daylight diminishes and the weather causes many of us to spend more time indoors, many people are affected to some degree by a type of depression known as seasonal affective disorder. It's a subtle but very real condition that can cast a pall over the whole season and be a source of stress and unhappiness during the time when people expect to feel just the opposite. Now that we have explored some of the things that may cause holiday stress for some people, let's move on to some tips for minimizing that holiday stress. It comes down to 3 things: being realistic, planning, and maintaining health habits. Let's delve into each tip a little further. The holiday season can be long and full of commitments. You are only one person and you can only do so much. Be realistic with how much you can handle this season. You don't have to do everything, and everything doesn't have to be perfect. The spirit of the season can sometimes lead us to overcommit our time. When you're looking at your calendar or to-do list, be fair to yourself. Decide what's most important to you, where you most want to go, and what you most want to do, including traditions. Allow yourself to say no to other demands on your time. It's perfectly acceptable for your traditions to change over time and to create new traditions to fit the evolving lifestyle of you, your family, and friends. If a ritual causes a disproportionate amount of stress, consider forming a new one. Try delegating or sharing tasks with family members. It is not realistic or fair to expect one person to do all of the extra tasks to ensure a wonderful holiday for everyone else on top of what is already expected of them. If you can't fathom the idea of skipping out on certain tasks or activities, like sending cards, baking, seeing people, you may be better to include all of these activities in your schedule, but on a smaller scale. Send cards, for example, but only to those with whom you maintain regular communication, or don't include a personal note or letter in each one. Find a way to simplify. The same goes for baking. Will anyone be enraged if you buy baked goods from the bakery instead? If you find ways to cut corners or tone down the activities that are important to you and your family, you may enjoy them much more. With long lines and nasty traffic, the holidays can get hectic. When overwhelmed by the hustle and bustle, ask yourself, where does this fit into the grand scheme of things? If you're frustrated by the long grocery line you're standing in, remember that it's just a long grocery line, nothing more. Don't let it spoil your afternoon. Can I use this moment of frustration as an opportunity to reflect? While the cashier rings up the customers ahead of you, take inventory of the good things that have happened today or the things that you're grateful for. Even if this moment seems stressful, can you find a way to make it pleasant? Connect with someone else and align with a compliment or kind gesture, or notice what's around you with fresh eyes and an open mind. Can good be good enough? As we gear up for the holidays, we often set the bar impossibly high for ourselves and then feel upset when our celebrations don't live up to expectations. Before you start preparing, acknowledge that things may not go exactly as planned. It's okay if it's not perfect. Imperfection is healthy and normal. For some of us, it may just take a little practice. Give yourself the gift of peace. If you need some downtime to recharge, do something that relaxes you. Practice yoga or some other relaxation technique, like Tai Chi, Qigong, or progressive muscle relaxation. Do meditation or spend time in nature. Listen to some music, light some candles, or open the blinds on the windows of a sunny day. Research has found that listening to music and the scent of citrus can boost feelings of well-being, and exposure to sunshine is always a happiness booster. Go phone-free for a little while. Disconnecting can provide some much-needed separation from the demands of people in your life, your calendar, and your to-do list. Take a short nap. Go for a walk, read a book, or watch a funny movie. Laughing relaxes the whole body and can relieve physical tension and stress. The next tip is to plan ahead. With all that you want to accomplish and do during the holiday season, find time to create a plan to ensure that you have the money, time, and energy for what is really important. Focus on 3 areas: priorities, spending, and schedule. Before you get overwhelmed by too many activities and trying to do everything, it's important to decide what activities and traditions offer the most positive impact and consider eliminating the rest. For example, if you usually become overwhelmed by a flurry of baking, caroling, shopping, sending cards, visiting relatives, and other activities that leave you exhausted, you may want to examine your priorities, pick a few favorite activities, and really enjoy them, while skipping the rest. The holidays mean spending money. Make a budget and stick to it. Lack of money is one of the biggest causes of stress during the holiday season. Spending money on your loved ones is important, but it's also important to pay your energy bill. It's okay to tell your child that a certain toy costs too much. Don't buy gifts that you'll be paying off for the rest of the year. If you can't afford all that you want to buy, consider less expensive and/or non-traditional personal gifts of time and/or activities instead of material gifts that are easily broken and forgotten. You can show love and caring with any gift that is meaningful and personal. It doesn't have to cost a lot. Use words instead of expensive gifts to let people know how important they are to you. Make a phone call or write a note and share your feelings. Between coworkers, friends, and family, it's inevitable that some commitments will end up on the same day. To help manage stress, make a list of what you expect from yourself, what others expect from you, and your responsibilities for the holidays. You may want to place them on a calendar or time management planner and fill in the hours of your scheduled activities to get a feel for how it will look. Include driving time, downtime, and time for normal routines so you will be able to see if you're trying to pack in too much. Start with your highest priority so you will be able to eliminate the less important activities. The last tip is to maintain your existing healthy habits during the holiday season. This will be one of your best defenses against stress. It is not easy to start new healthy habits during this time of year. A more realistic approach may be to strive to keep what healthy habits you have with sleep, eating, physical activity, stress relief, and mental health. If you don't completely give up your healthy habits, you won't feel like you must start over once the holidays are over. Fit holiday obligations into your everyday routine rather than letting them upset your life. Sleep is important, probably more important than most of us realize. Therefore, strive to protect your sleep. Keep your regular sleep schedule. It's easy to feel like it's worth it to stay up late during the holidays to catch up with old friends and family from out of town. But those late nights can wreak havoc on your sleep schedule. That's why, as hard as it may be, you should keep your regular sleep schedule. You want to spend every moment of the holidays bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but that won't be possible if you're not getting your regular sleep. Sure, it's okay to stay up a little late during the holidays, but try to limit it to no more than an hour off your regular schedule. Sleep deprivation can lead to mood and behavior changes. If you're traveling across time zones, it can be much harder to keep your regular schedule as everybody else in the house will either be going to bed much earlier or later than yourself. However, if you're only planning on staying a day or two, try to keep as close to your regular back-home schedule as possible to keep your mini vacation from having too much of a negative impact on your regular sleep-wake patterns. Be careful with excess food. It's hard not to overfill yourselves on meals and snacking during the day and putting off moderation until the new year. However, when it comes to getting good sleep, too much of certain types of foods can keep you from sleeping soundly through the night. Foods and drinks high in sugar and caffeine can keep you awake longer at night, and foods high in processed carbs can leave you feeling sluggish during the day. So while you're at the buffet-like dinner table, try loading up on more fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, nuts, and whole grains. Also, keep late-night snacking to a minimum. There's nothing wrong with having a small snack before bed, but if you're stuffing yourself right before bed, it can make your body work harder to break down all that food as you sleep. When your body has to focus more energy on processing food, it takes away from your body repairing and refreshing itself during sleep. Late-night snacking can also exacerbate your acid reflux, making getting to sleep and staying asleep difficult. Watch your alcohol intake. While it's true that alcohol makes you drowsy and can help you fall asleep faster, it also disturbs your rest and diminishes the quality of your sleep. Alcohol also decreases the amount of REM sleep, where dreaming occurs, memories are stored, and learning occurs. Furthermore, alcohol can make already existing sleep disorders worse. Drinking in moderation and trying to avoid drinking altogether approximately 2 to 3 hours before bedtime for best results. Power down before sleep. To promote restful sleep, it's best to have a relaxing bedtime routine. During the holidays, turn your typical bedtime routine into something enjoyable for the whole family. Instead of watching TV, try playing some games or engage in relaxing activities. Board games are always a great family activity that encourage togetherness. Relaxing activities can include making gingerbread houses, hanging holiday decorations, reading Christmas books together, or helping the kids write their letters to Santa. It doesn't really matter what activities you do, as long as they're relaxing and not too overstimulating. Turn off electronics and Christmas lights before bedtime. Television sets, computers, cell phones, e-readers, portable game systems, and other electronic devices emit a light similar to that of daylight. Our brains are tricked by the light as it associates it with daylight, which causes a delay in the production of melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep. These devices also often contain stimulating content that keeps us awake, wanting to consume more. The stimulating content and the deceptive light work together to keep us up later at night and lose some much-needed sleep when we wake at the same time as usual in the morning. You should also turn off your outside Christmas lights at bedtime. All those bright lights might be shining through your window and disrupting your family's sleep. Get outside more. Getting outside into the light is also helpful for your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm reacts to the natural cycles of daylight and darkness and helps regulate your internal clock, which tells you when it's time for bed. Increasing your exposure to light during the day decreases your production of melatonin, and decreasing your exposure to light at night increases its production, leading to a healthier, faster sleep at night. With the days shorter during the winter months, it's all the more important to get outside often and soak up what little light is available. For most of us, food is plentiful year-round, but during the holidays, there is so much delicious and decadent food. Having a break from our regular routines, plus the addition of emotional stress, can all add up to overeating, emotional eating, and other forms of unhealthy eating. This year, eat mindfully during the holidays. Listen to your hunger. Take a moment before eating to assess how hungry you are. Become aware of the reason you feel like eating. If it is for reasons other than hunger, then eating isn't the answer and will ultimately satisfy you. Wait to eat until you are hungry enough to eat a full meal. Choose food carefully. Ask yourself what you want and need. Choose only your top 3 or 4 foods at a buffet like dinner. Don't waste your appetite on food you don't love. Take only small to medium-sized portions. You can always go back for a little more if you are still hungry. Eat slowly and savor your food. Take the time to truly taste your food. Pay attention to the texture and flavors of the food before slowly chewing it. Breathe in the smell of food, since flavors other than salty, sweet, bitter, and sour come from the aromas. Respectfulness. Notice as food gently fills your stomach. Pause for a minute in the middle of eating to reconnect with your hunger and fullness levels and your enjoyment of the meal. Food is abundant for most of us. You don't have to eat it all right now and ruin the experience by feeling stuffed. You can eat more later or at another meal. Mindful eating is a great way to enjoy eating, whether during the holidays or throughout the rest of the year. It can even help you to eat less. Strive to get your normal level of physical activity. If you do miss a workout, be creative to find ways to sprinkle some physical activities into your daily routine. Keep the family moving. When the kids are home from school, squeeze in some physical activities, whether active chores, trips to the park, or a snowball fight. Breathe. This sounds like a no-brainer, but sometimes we forget to take deep breaths and really give our bodies the oxygen we need. It's great if you can take 10 minutes by yourself to do a breathing meditation, but merely stopping to take a few deep, cleansing breaths can reduce your levels of negative stress in a matter of minutes. If you visualize that you are breathing in serenity and breathing out stress, you will find the positive effects of this exercise to be even more pronounced. You may get sad or lonely during the holidays. Accept your emotions and allow yourself to feel them. Show yourself kindness. If you're coping with mental health concerns, they won't go away just because of the holidays. Keep up positive mental health habits. If you're particularly overwhelmed, talk to a mental health professional about how to handle everything that is on your plate.